making a short video here on how to rebuild the Jalousie window. It's commonly found in vintage Boler trailers. There's actually nothing wrong with this window, but I will be disassembling it because I want to polish all the aluminum on it. They are quite simple to take apart. We're going to start by just opening it up. With the window in the open position, the window panes themselves are held on at each side with 2 Robertson screws. So we're just going to undo those to start with. They're very short screws. They're only about 3/8 of an inch long. And we will do the same with this end. Out. The window panes themselves just slide right out. Now, as I mentioned, I don't need to do anything with the glass on these, but if you did have a broken window, on the window frames themselves, each corner has a single Robertson screw in it. You can simply undo those screws. The frame will come apart very easily, and you can replace the glass in them. Now all we have is the window frame itself and the mechanism. To take the rest of it apart, what we have is there's 2 screws in each corner.
Using a heat gun, apply a little bit of heat to the side rails. This will help to expand the aluminum, and the screws will come out a lot easier without breakage.
So what we're going to do is just remove those screws. These screws go into the extruded channel, and there's actually a kind of a channel that the screws go into. These screws are quite long. They're probably about 1.5 inches long each one. Now what I like to do on these is if you take off the screws, the top and bottom on one side, it allows you to separate the mechanism a little bit easier. You would need to take the frame apart if you had to replace the crank mechanism, so the window actuator. Also, you do need to take the window frame apart to replace the side seals, which I'll show you in just a second. Top and bottom screws from one side, just gently. Now you can pull the side mechanism off and separate The mechanism just goes through 2 slots in the side, and that comes off. The side mechanism then just comes off with a simple little spline mechanism, kind of a key way, rod. Now just wiggle it, it comes out of the side mechanism or the crank mechanism, and then pulling and that is apart. I should mention, this is off, just gentle wiggling, and that comes off. 2 more screws, and the frame is fully disassembled. So here's the window frame all taken apart. Just going to show you a couple other quick little things. On the side pieces, there's a little plastic insert, and this is actually for holding the screen. It just simply slides out like that. On each side, on one side there is the crank mechanism. It undoes with 2 screws, and opposite that is the bushing where the rod goes into. It also just fastens with 2 screws to the side rail. On the top rail, there is this large weather flap. It just slides out, simple as that. On both side rails, there is what's called J molding. This is a flexible vinyl weather seal again. It also just slips out. And then there's only the tricky one. On the very bottom, and it would sit like this, the windows would seal up against this seal here. There's another piece of the J seal there. It can be a little bit trickier to come out because the ends, the factory has squished the ends. But I have found just simply taking a standard screwdriver. Oh, there it is. The standard screwdriver, and you just put it in the slot, and you just gently twist. That opens it up a bit. There we go. And out it slides. There you go. The entire Jalousie window is now disassembled. Now it's just a matter of cleaning the parts. I'm actually going to be polishing these so they take on a very high shine, and then reassembling. Hope you've enjoyed this section of it. I will tape myself putting it back together as well. Thank you for watching.